John, is that you?
Oh my God, what are you doing here?
Hi! Well, you said Hawaii fresh, so I was like, let's go to the beach.
Yeah, well, here we are.
Oh.
I'm here with my copy of Vogue. I've got my cocktail. Cheers, everyone, by the way. I've got my cocktail. So, maybe did we take it too literally?
I think so.
Oh, well, there's nothing like being in the moment, right?
Yeah, right.
So, hang on, why are we here?
The current number 2 of this season.
Ah, that's why we're here, the current. But hold on. So you're here, I'm here, but we're missing someone, right? Who is it?
Elam.
Oh, yeah.
She was supposed to go to Hawaii, right?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, anyway, what are we doing today?
So today we're gonna do the second part of the current, and I got so inspired of your trends report together what you did with Elam.
Thank you.
So I was like, Hawaii fresh, let's do it. So I prepared a beautiful model, and I will color her with our new semi-colors, which are just been launched, of course.
Fantastic. And actually, now you reminded me, the trend story. Indeed, that is what we are going to do today. So the trend story, but also 2 beautiful looks showcasing the new semi-color. And of course, not to forget, what's Ilham doing? Let's have a quick...
Of course, she will do her magic with your
with
model.
With the Vavavoom, right?
Vavavoom. Like, beautiful.
So, yeah, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Cool, well, I'm ready. Question is, are you ready? I'm sure you are. Let's get going. Okay, so before we continue, let's do a bit of a recap of the trend narrative. So here we're going to be focusing on spring-summer 2021. So the overarching theme that we have seen is that really 2019 was a year of opulence. 2020 was a year of scaling back. In 2021, our priorities really have changed. So the health of the hair is absolutely key to everything that we do. And we also see that narrative floating through within the fashion narrative. So what we've seen, we're talking about hair. In the past, it was all about vavavoom, more volume, more blonde. Now what we're seeing is more shine, healthier, more balanced hair. So, and of course, the focus today will be semi. And this is absolutely key, of course, to creating beautiful, healthy, shiny hair. Coming back to the trends, what we've done is we've identified 4 key trends. So let's kick off with the first one, outdoor, indoor. This is all about functional comfort wear, like the name says. So here what we're seeing is this blend between outdoor and indoor. So a mix of function and a mix of comfort. In terms of the palette, we're seeing a return of the khaki, and that again lends to the narrative really beautifully. And there's definitely a 1990s undercurrent running through this theme. If we go back to the hair story, what we see is this concept of the 90s running through. So center partings, but also the concept of the fringe. The fringe has come back as something that's bolder and stronger, but it has that rawness to it, almost like you've cut it yourself. If we go back to the hair story, we also see that narrative from the clothing running through to the hair. So these more beautiful nude palettes being used. And of course, semi has a palette inside of it, which lends to that beautifully. Then we go on to the next trend story, which is called Fresh Hawaii. Just like the name sounds, it literally is fresh, beautiful. It's all about detail, pastels, beautiful embellishments and patterns. And we see that narrative running through in the beautiful garments within the story. If we take it through to the hair narrative, what we're seeing in terms of styling is this concept of beautiful, soft, organic forms that have this slightly contemporary feel in the sense that the shapes are head-hugging. When we talk about the color, again, we can link this back beautifully to semi because glazes and toners really are central to this story. Moving on to our third trend, tropical old school. This is really a beautiful collision of outdoor, indoor and fresh Hawaii. So really both of these meet together. And what we have here is this idea of the preppy grandpa. So what we're seeing is a statement piece. It almost looks like it's been handed down through your family. So there's a beautiful piece of these details on it. And everything is slightly oversized. It isn't particularly tailored. When we come to the hair story, what we see is because there's androgyny through the clothing narrative, we see that the hair goes incredibly ultra feminine, and there's definitely a very retro feel to it. With the color, there is this beautiful play on iridescence, and you see that coming through here really beautifully. We see these beautiful play on the beige and brunettes and so on. Then our last trend story, which I think is one of my favorites, as you would have known from our last webinar together, digital flowers. This is something a little bit different. So digital flowers is this idea of accents, but always playing on a black or dark background. So there's these beautiful pops of colors. Detailing and embellishments are really key to the fashion narrative, but also running through to the hair narrative. So talking of hair, what we're seeing here is this idea of really strong partings and strong forms being melted with something that is slightly soft. So we have strength and femininity colliding in one form. When we link this back to the hair color narrative, this is fantastic for those clients with darker color levels. So here, for example, with the semi, we've got a beautiful palette working from the 3-1, and you can play with an accent of, let's say, a glaze or a pastel shade. So there's that really beautiful contradiction of dark versus light. And there's something really interesting happening here. So today, we're going to present to you some amazing looks using our semi-color. And I really should hope that you're going to see some of this fashion narrative really running through with our translation into the hair story. So I'm now going to hand over to Elena, and she's going to talk you through the semi portfolio. And I hope you're really excited because the team here have done an amazing job of it. So yeah, I will see you shortly.
So guys, our new semi-color introduction, we are so happy that it's finally here, that we finally can share it with the whole world, what we are working on for such a long time already, our new semi-colors. So what is it? What did we change? What stayed the same? What did we add? I will tell you in this part. So let's get started. So the hashtag is shine on, because when you think of semi-color, of course, it's gonna be a lot of shine. So we have updated our semi-color range. But what did we change? So our beloved formula, we got so many feedback from all over the world that you guys really love the semi-color as it was already. So the performance, the color end results, the intensity of the colors, we didn't change that one because, of course, we want that you can still trust that we will guarantee the same quality as we did before. But we improved, of course, some little bit. So what did we really improve? Well, if I think of semi-color, I think of shine, but the more shine, the better, of course. So we wanted to have even more stunning shine and also add a little bit more of a nourishment feeling, because healthy, shiny hair, it's all the big trend nowadays. And of course, not to think of it at least, we added 14 new shades to our whole color range. So how great is that? So now we have even more colors to play around with. So when I'm talking about an additional of extra shine and an additional of extra nourishment, of course, we changed a little bit of the ingredients. I will show you on this slide what we changed. So the new formula, what is it? So as I already said, healthy, shiny hair is so important, and of course, it's something that we all want. So the lab came up with our Nourishing Complex, and the key ingredient of the Nourishing Complex is cocamida, which maybe you already know from our Tinta color, of course, and sea silk. And sea silk is an ingredient that is extracted from the red algae, and this will make sure that the hair is nourished, it's hydrated, and it's in the best state as it can be. Then what we also have is a shine complex. So the lab again have got to work and they come up with those two great ingredients. It's called sea buckthorn. And from all my Dutchies over here, this is something that we will have in our dunes. So if you're walking around, going to the beach, you will see in the dunes, you will see those little orange berries, and those are the sea buckthorn. And this will give the hair a lot of shine. And then they also added Mirasol. And Mirasol is different than what we already had. We had Seal Soft that we don't have anymore. Now it's an updated ingredient and it's called Mirasol. And this will make sure that the hair is shiny, glossy all over. Can't wait for you guys to see it. And then last but not least, this is so important. Now these days, people are getting more sensitive. So we also want to have something that will soothe the scalp and protect the scalp. So we created the Boswellia serrata gum. This is something that has already been proved and tested time over time. It's an ingredient that will soothe and calm down the scalp, as well as bisabolol. And maybe you know it already from our bleaching products. So for example, Cream Blonde also have that ingredient. So those are the new formulas, so the new complexes. We'll make sure that the hair is healthy, shiny, nourished, and of course good for the scalp as well. But then we not only changed the ingredients, we also changed a little bit of the packaging, because who doesn't want a facelift, especially with packaging, because that's quite safe. So as you can see here, this is our new packaging. So these are the boxes, and of course we also changed the tubes. So this is a very easy color navigation, because as you can see, the packaging is now like a lighter color and it has a color navigation on it. So the most dominant color characters, so for example, ash or pearl or gold or copper, this you can see already on the box. So you can already know, okay, so the first main character is gonna be a mahogany or it's gonna be a violet. And now we're getting to the most excited part, for me at least, the new color shades, of course. So as I already said, we have 14 of them. I will show you which 14 we have. So we will have 3 new glazes. So the honey, a champagne, and the beige. So we already have, of course, soft pink, silver, silver lilac, you name it, we already had them. And now we added 3 more. And good for you to know, we also improved all the glazes, so they are a little bit more of an intensity color, so they are a little bit long lasting as well. So this is really cool about this one. Then, of course, who can't live without it? Our toners. So we also included 4 new toners. So the 10.12, the 971, the 9.5, and the 935. So beautiful colors. We have cool ones, we have warmer shades, and of course you can combine them also and mix them with others, and for sure you're gonna love these, because I'm already in love. Then talk about fashion shades. We also included 4 new fashion shades, and going from dark to light, we have everything for everyone. So we now have an 822, so an intense pearl character. How cool is that one? Then we also included the 732, the 581. We already had that one in a tinta, and now we can do a perfect dual color, because now it's also existing in a semi-color. And last but not least, a 3.1. So similar to a 1.1, but on a lighter base, so you can see more of the true blue character. Such a great color. And last but not least, and I think, oh, it's so hard to choose, but maybe these are my favorites, I'm not sure, are Mixtones. So we have 3 more Mixtones in our portfolio. So we have a 034, of course, a golden copper tone, really nice to brighten up your colors. We now also have a 056, it's like a fuchsia kind of pink color. Oh, for sure, you're gonna love it. You can add it in so many colors to make it a little bit more spicy, a little bit more flavorful. And this is so great for all my brunettes out there with a lot of warmth. If you want to tone it down, are 019, so really a blue-green color to neutralize all the unwanted warmth that you maybe have. So really, really happy about these new 14 colors. Of course, later on I'm gonna work already a little bit with it, but I can't wait for you guys to show me what you can create with this. So don't forget, if you create something, place it on Instagram and with the hashtag #ShineOn. And I can't really wait to see what kind of creations you will create with it. So this is my part, of course. I'm gonna go and come back with my live model, and then I'm gonna be creative with it. I really hope that you will start working with our new semi-colors and you're gonna fall in love with it just as much as I and my whole team did. So thank you and see you later. So as I already said, I got so inspired about one of the upcoming trends, fresh Hawaii. So of course, who doesn't love Hawaii, who doesn't want to go onto a nice island nowadays? But really when you think about it, it's upcoming spring, summer, thinking about all the different trends that we can see on the runway. So if you can see here in the screen, of course, it's pastel preferred. So of course, pastels are always a very big thing during the spring, summertime. So, but now this season, also think about the yellow buttercup kind of pastel shades, our lovely lilacs, peony pinks, and of course, nice bluebells kind of colors. So really nice pastel shades, just like what I'm wearing now, of course. If we're thinking about hair, we are also thinking about pastel shades in the hair. So think about a little bit more on the warmer side. So soft peachy kind of tones, golden tones, again, buttercup yellow kind of tones, of course, very soft rosé. But not only pastel shades, you can spice it up a little bit with adding some metallics in it as well. So if you think about Isabel Marant with the metallic pants, and I think my model is also wearing something like that, this is something where you can get your inspiration from as well. So that's why I have my lovely model Larissa today, and I'm gonna create some nice pastel shades combined with some pastels and metallics, of course, with the help of our new semi-colors. But wait, there's something wrong with the cape. Just give me a second. Ta-da, this is better. Cool. So as you guys can see, my lovely model has a beautiful color now already. We pre-lightened it for the regrowth. And normally when we are thinking about pastel shades, we are always saying, okay, you have to be a color level 10 and it's gotta be neutral. But you can see with my model, she's still on a color level 9 and still quite yellow because I didn't tone it or pre-tone it or did whatever. So I just lifted it, used the after color program, of course, and then this is the end result. And this is also the base where I'm gonna start coloring. So what I already said, I'm gonna work with some pastel shades, some metallics. And as you can see here on the screen, these are my recipes that I'm gonna use. So the first recipe is gonna be the base in the nape area. It's gonna be the silver lilac combined with the 935, so one of our newest semi-colors. And the mixing ratio is 1:1. Then the second recipe is gonna be the top part of the head. This is gonna be the 925 combined with our new champagne glaze. And this mixture is also a 1:1 ratio. Then the third recipe is going to be the 9.5, also one of our newest semi-color toners. And with a mahogany kind of undertone, really nice. I'm going to use it pure on its own, so I'm not going to mix it with anything else. And as you can see, the fourth one is one of my lovely metallics. I always love to work already with the silver, with the Mixtone. And of course, now we have a new Mixtone. So it's going to be the silver with the new 056. So the, like pinkish, quite an intensive pink Mixtone that we have. And my mixing ratio for that is 20 grams of the silver with 2 grams of our new Mixtone. So as you can see now on the video, I made a section on my lovely model again. And I will turn her around and I will also include in the screen the section pattern. So you know what to do and where each recipe is gonna be. So again, I'm gonna work on a color level 9, still a yellow base, just to explain to you guys that you can also work with this kind of base for a pastel or metallic shade. So let me grab my colors. So as I explained, I pre-lifted the hair. On our social media, you will find what kind of recipe I use for this one and what kind of technique. So that's coming up later. If you're curious, then make sure you will follow us on Instagram, of course. Then I did the after color treatment, so I washed it twice with the shampoo. And then I use, of course, the after color balsam. And of course, semi is applied on towel dry hair, so I didn't dry the hair. This is just the base that I have. And because her lengths and ends, especially the ends, are a little bit more fragile, I'm gonna use our Keune Care Phytonutrition Protein Spray. I'm just gonna really make sure that the ends are saturated with that one. Perfect. So, and then I'm gonna apply. So as I said before, recipe 1 is gonna be in this section, recipe 2 is gonna be on this section, 3 in this one, 4 at this one. So, I'm throwing away. Let's get started. So I always love to first do the perimeter, and then I'm really trying to feather it out. So it's not like a harsh line. I'm already feathering it out, so I don't want a harsh line, especially with the contour, to make it as soft as possible. So this is of course the lovely recipe Silver Lilac with one of our newest shades, the 935. So of course the 935 on its own is also so beautiful to work on, but I always love mixing. So I'm doing that as well. So I'm first going to start on the root application, and then I'm going to pull it through to the lengths and ends. And you will see later on when the color is finished, it's gonna be quite like ton sur ton. So it's not a lot of difference. So of course some will pop out a little bit more of the colors. But I think this is the great thing with block coloring. You can decide whatever you want. You can make it very visual or more ton sur ton. So it will blend together, but you still have an interesting color going on. But guys, this can be quite boring, if you want to watch me do the whole hair. So let's try something out. Wow, if everything could be this easy, right? So as you can see, I've colored everything, the whole hair of my model. So I'm gonna turn her around a little bit again so we can all see. So on top, it's recipe number 2, so the 925, it's so much fun here, combined with the champagne, mixing ratio 1:1. Then underneath we will have a section, as you can see, here. This is the 9.5, so recipe number 3. Then behind that one, as you can maybe see here, this is my lovely recipe number 4, so the silver combined with the new Mixtone 056. Again, mixing ratio 20:2, so 20 gram of the silver, 2 gram of course, our new Mixtone. And then, of course, where I all started, in the nape area, we can find it over here. This is recipe number 1, so the Silver Lilac combined with also a new semi-color tone, the 935, mixing ratio 1:1 again. So of course I placed it on towel dry hair. Now I'm gonna leave it in for another 20 minutes. And then Larissa and I will be back to show you the end result. So hi, we are back again. And this is the end result of the lovely color that I did on Larissa. So as you can see in the screen now, these were the color section that I used. So with the triangular parts on the head. And these were also the color combinations that I used. So the 4 different recipes, including our new semi-colors, of course, our new shades. And this is the end result. So as you can see, it's a really lovely, nice, warm color with the pastel shades. Keep in mind that she was on a color level 9 with really a warm base. So I just highlighted it and I didn't neutralize it. As you can see, it has a soft, like peachy vibe, but also with some pinkish hue and also some mahogany going through. And as I already explained when I was coloring the hair, it's a tone-on-tone color. So all the colors blend in really nicely in the hair. And I think this is a great new color and it suits her so good. So, of course, now we have the color done. And as you can see, I already prepped the hair with some curls. As a prep product, before we're gonna start with the blow dry and the curling iron, I used our soft mousse. So from our style range, our soft mousse, because this is great. It has a hold of a 4, but also a natural shine. But then again, I really love these curls, but we want to have like a Hawaii kind of vibe. So a little bit more like undone. And I think a lot of times when we are curling the hair, the first day it's a little bit too much done, you know. I think the second day it's always a little bit nicer. It's a little bit more worn in. And I will show you a very quick tip how you can create that on your own. So you're gonna of course prep the hair with a product that has a heat protection. So of course you can use one of our prep products for that. You're gonna curl the hair however you want, and then you're gonna use your straightening iron. Really strange to think about it, but then you're gonna take just regular sections, not too small, not too thick, and you're gonna tap over that section. And if you want to have it more edgy vibe, you can straighten the ends. And as you can see, it really breaks down the curl a little bit, make it a little bit more effortless, a little bit more undone. So again, take a section. I'm gonna clap my straightening iron all the way through, and you can decide, you can leave it in for a little bit longer if necessary. And I really love to pull it through the ends to have it a little bit more of a straight. So here you can see already the difference between it. So it still has like a wavy pattern, but it's a little bit more flat and a little bit more undone. So really liking this vibe. So I'm gonna continue very quickly. So as you can see, a really easy way to make it a little bit more effortless, a little bit more undone. Then I really, where is it? Like to use the spray wax. Of course, you can also use our dry texturizer, but because we're using semi and I want to have it a little bit more shiny, spray wax for this is perfect. So I'm just gonna spray it all over the hair, and then you can work it with your hands a little bit more. So make it a little bit more cool, undone kind of texture. So a little bit more of a lift-in kind of vibe. So, and for the people, if you already noticed when I was doing it, it was really quickly. I'm gonna turn you around. Yes, I think here you can see it. What I also love with this kind of beachy vibe is to have some little hidden braids or anything going on. So if you can see this, it's just a little braid, small tiny braid, and you can make 1 or 2 or maybe 4 in the hair. Just gives it a nice extra accent. And what I really love to do with it is create your braid with some kind of thread. So for example, I'm using a pink metallic kind of thread. Hope you can see it. I see it a little bit on screen. It's difficult to see. And this can be done quite easy. So I'm gonna make one on this side as well. So just if you're thinking like, okay, I can do a regular braid, I don't know how to do it with an extra thread. As you can see, I have here the thread. I'm gonna pull it through, so I'll have like, camera. Always difficult, like left and right on the camera. So I'm gonna pull it through so you have like a little knot. I'm gonna take my section of hair. And you can decide for yourself where you want to place it, of course, and if you want to have like a bigger braid or smaller braid. You can see I will pull the hair through. We'll pull on this one. And then you have a perfect starting base. So the thread will stay in place and you can just braid the hair. So I'm gonna make 3 sections. With 2 of them, I'm gonna include one of the threads, so the metallic pink threads. And I'm just gonna do a regular braid. And again, you can play around. You can make a twist if you want. You can braid it. You can have 4 strands, 3 strands, whatever you want. And it's an easy, really fun way. I think especially during the summer to have a little bit of extra summer feeling in your hair. It's a great thing. And again, you can do this with just regular braid, of course. You can do it with braid like this. I think it's really easy. You can just Google it. I think any kind of hobby shop will have different kind of braids, different kinds of colors. And it's just a nice extra. So I'm gonna cut it off on the length of the hair. And of course, if you want, you can also pull on the braid to make it a little bit looser, to have it also like the second day feeling. That's all up to you guys. Just to have a nice extra little detail that people are thinking, oh, what's going on in the hair? Do I see something glittering over there? This is it. So this is my inspiration of the Hawaii fresh look. So really nicely undone hair, with a little bit more of a softer color going on. So as you can see, it's a little bit warmer, like a peachy pinkish tone. And the styling is also quite effortless. But before relieving, of course, when I think of Hawaii, I think a little bit of the humidity. So I'm gonna finish it off with the humidity shield to make sure that everything stays in place, because although it looks undone, of course it's done, and we want to keep it all night going on like this. Great. So guys, thank you so much. Larissa, are you ready to go to Hawaii?
Yeah.
Good, let's go. Bye!
Oh, hi, welcome back. So, as you can see, I have a copy of the Vogue collections, and I always think this is a great source of inspiration. Of course, not only this, there are many different formats and platforms where you can really understand what's happening in the world of fashion, and of course, always linking it back to hair. Irena's already done a beautiful explanation of Fresh Hawaii and how she's going to translate that into hair. Well, the good thing is, I'm also following a similar narrative. But before I talk about the hair, let's come back to the fashion narrative. So I was just having a look through here, and here we have the Giorgio Armani accessories story for spring summer this year. And if you look through this, look at the beautiful colors and details. So here we're seeing a play on pastels, but also metallics. And this is something that we're going to be translating into the hair narrative. Of course, not as strong, we're not working with violets per se, but we are going to be playing with that concept. So let's talk quickly about the hair. Well, my lovely model here, Belle, she's got a beautiful hair. She's got it's pretty much totally natural, which is a complete blessing. As you all know, it's very rare that you have a client in a salon that has beautiful natural hair. So we're going to start with our lightning process. I'm not going to talk too much about that process. All I will say to you is that today we're going to work with like a teasy-weasy idea. So we're working with this concept of teased, highlights and weaves. So maybe not teasy-weasy, teasy-weavy. I think that sounds much nicer. This is a technique that I'm creating. If you want to understand more about the lightning technique, don't forget to check out our social media, because we'll have the full recipe and the technique in its entirety. And I'm sure that you're going to absolutely love it. For sure, it's something that you can use in the salon that's quick, easy and very effective. In terms of the results, so we're going to lighten it and then focus on the toning. The toning part, we're going to be working with our glazes and our toners. And we're going to work with a palette which takes into account skin tone, eye color, and of course the base of the hair. So we're going to lighten it, and then we're going to work with these beautiful tones. And I'm not going to talk too much about the tones right now. We'll address that afterwards, because we really want to get the hair light enough first. What I would say to you is my inspiration here is coming from these beautiful milky colors, and colors that are there that melt and intermix into one another. So let's get started. Okay, so we have now lightened the hair. Just a few things, I'm going to be completely honest with you. We didn't quite anticipate really how strong the texture of my model's hair is. It was really quite incredible and quite a process to lighten up. As I said before, of course, the color technique will be available through our social media. Now what we're going to do is we're going to proceed with our toning application. I'm going to tell you one thing because I think it's really important. You hear what I just said about hair texture. The hair is quite thick, it's strong. It really took a lot of work with the coloring process. So already I'm mindful when I'm using semi, I'm going to be using the semi-intense activator. That is absolutely perfect when working on really thick, strong hair, and that's going to help me achieve the perfect result. What I've done is I've worked with a triangular shape which extends through the top area and then rounds in through the back. As we go through each stage of the color, I'm going to talk you through the formula. First thing I'm going to do is start working through this back zone. We're going to start through the root and then work through to the mid-lengths and ends. So let's get started. We're going to start with our center profile and we're going to apply our first formula. This is going to create a slight shadow. Here we're working with our 732 and that is going to create this beautiful warm but still slightly iridescent and pearlescent tone that's going to create this warmth, but this really beautiful controlled warmth. So we're just going to work that through. Of course, watching the entire color technique isn't the most exciting thing, so I am going to complete just this one side before we move on to the front area. Again, just being really mindful when we're working through the contours, not to create any demarcations. Wow, that wasn't that fast. How much would you love to be working this fast in the salon? Well, me for sure, and absolutely with the lightning process, I would have been really happy if it was this quick. But hey, as we say in English, that's how the cookie crumbles. So let's continue. We're now going to work through the mid-lengths and ends with our second formula. Again, our 732 is one of the hero shades, and here we're intermixing that with our 935 to create, again, controlled warmth. We've used our rules of dilution here, so we're working with 3/4 of our 935 and 1/4 of our 732. So the color we're expecting to be sitting around a level 8. And it's going to create this beautiful reflex through the mid-lengths and the ends. I think this is also, just to add, something very important because I'm working on, quite a dark natural base. I'm looking at the skin tone, the eye color, of course the natural base color, and sometimes the temptation we all have when we're lightening the hair is we look at it, we see blonde, and the first thing we want to do is neutralize, right? I think we've all been there. We look and we think, I want it to be more ash or silvery. But the thing is you don't always need to neutralize, and sometimes it's actually better to work with the color that you've got and work with the warmth that you've got. That's all I'm going to say for now, because we'll come a little bit more into depth on this shortly. So I'm going to continue this technique, melting the root color and the end colors. We're going to continue that through the top and finishing off this section. Oops, I did it again. Fancy that. If really, honestly, I'm not going to stop with this. If we keep working like this, we'll be making a shed load of money in 0 time. Fantastico. Anyway, let's continue. So we've now worked through the root, through the lengths and the ends, and this is our base, let's say. Where we've isolated these triangular zones through here, we're going to have a veil of the base sitting over the top of these highlights through the underneath. What we're going to do here is we're going to work with a tapping of the root area, again using our 732, and then what we're going to do is we're going to work from back to front, and we're actually going to work with a 935, which is going to be this slightly kind of pinkish color. It's going to be beautiful. And then working through to our beige glaze around the front. The wonder of working with the glaze around that front area is the fact that because there's no color level in it, it's purely color character, you can work with what you already have. So the nice thing is if it's already warm, it's going to enhance that. If it's a little bit cooler or paler, it's going to work with that. Like I've said already, around the front, don't really want to lose too much of this lightness through this area. So I'm going to work with it, and the glaze is perfect in that situation. So we're just going to work through the root. And I'm just going to work until when I feel we're ready to start taking our first color through to the lengths and ends. And you can see you've got these beautiful pops of the highlights. So by working in with the semi-color, you're going to create that beautiful dimensional result within the form. I'm just going to tap it through. I'm still working with my color skills principles, so we're still working back off the face. That enables me to keep maximum discipline when I'm working. And also notice how I've switched now to a pintail comb. That gives me a bit more control when I'm working through. Okay. I'm now just coming on to those last few sections. You also have to just be mindful when we're working around the face mask, to make sure that we're not missing any hairs in that area. And once again, we're using our semi-intense activator. That's going to help because of the type of hair that we're working on here. Okay, let's just go from the underneath. And we're just going to bring that up. Let's very gently feather that through here. There we go. Okay, so now it's going to be very easy. So take this section, and I'm quite literally going to split this in half, like so. And this is going to be our fashion shade. This will be our toner, and this is going to be our glaze. So I'm going to, what will we do? Actually, we'll start with our glaze first. I'm going to work on with, like so. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now, because the section here isn't so thick, I'm just going to comb that down very lightly, and I'm going to do this in one. And here, this is going to be our glaze. So remember, no color level, just pure color character. And we're just going to isolate this. Again, we can use some more product just to help control the control the hair. So it's anchored, like so. There we go. And then let's take the hair above it. So we're going to create this beautiful little fleck just around the face. Not really a money piece, but that kind of idea. So we've got that beautiful illumination through this front zone. There we go. Okay. And then now we're moving on to our 935. And I want to be quite quick with this because remember the development time is up to 20 minutes, or it is 20 minutes. So make sure that we need to be precise but still disciplined when we're working throughout the technique. Aha! Look at that, we're done. Express color. Truly, if it was that quick in the salon, we would be all super rich. But nevertheless, of course, whenever we're creating a color technique, and of course when using the products, it's all about getting the maximum impact in the minimum amount of time. And of course, this is what we're doing here. Let's do a quick recap. So, what we've done is we've worked with a triangular shape that then extends into a little halo, let's say, behind the ear. So the shape is like this. On that back area, what we have done is we've worked with 732 through the root area. That's been used with the semi-intense activator because, of course, the hair is thick and strong. Through the mid-lengths and the ends, what we've also done is we've still worked with the 732, but with that, we've also added a little bit of our 935, 2/3 to be more precise. That's going to create this beautiful milky rosé-ish color through the back area. Then through the front, what we've done is we've worked again with our 732 through the root area. In that top zone, we've done 732 and then melting that straight down into our 935. And then in that very last section on the front, where we've got that mini kind of face frame inspired area, we've worked with our semi-glaze, our beige. And I think what we should expect to see, and keep this in mind, we've got a shadow into a rosé-ish level 8, melting in through that 935, so we've got that beautiful pinkish warm tone, and then melting finally into the glaze. And while working with the glaze, what that's going to do is that's going to enhance what we've already got. So we're using what's already there, the warmth that's already inside the hair, to really enhance the color. So it should create a really beautiful multi-dimensional effect. So I'm going to put this back in its house because you can see it wants to leave, just like we want to as well right now. And why? Because I'm super excited. Once we're finished, I'm going to be handing over Belle to Ilham to do her magic. So I'll see you shortly.
Hi everyone, welcome back. As you can see, I have already a nice blowout setting, which I started first with blow drying the hair with a medium round brush using the instant blowout. This product is amazing to use as a base because it has a medium hold and you start section by section. As you all know, I always start in the front. Like this, it has enough time to cool down, and from there I will working back to the nape here in the neck. So actually the first thing is important is to make sure that if she has a little fringe, just make sure you do the right section. This is my first, and then from there I will go brickstone technique all the way down. So I'm gonna just show you the result, and from there I will create a nice shape and build up the hair to a nice look. As we all know, it's all about the trend that we already talked about, the beautiful nice middle part with beautiful nice shape and soft texture. That's all about the soft texture. As you can see, the color is beautiful. There's a lot of shine. Make sure when you blow dry the hair, do not forget to use the cool button. It's quite important. So you can see there is a nice volume on the crown. Right now I'm just, as you can see, it's already beautiful. It's very nice and soft. And the instant blowout is such an amazing product because you don't feel it. You know, you can use it, but the hair is still very soft and it gives it just a little medium hole that we need, and actually that's enough. So for the crown area, I'm just gonna emphasize the volume. And I totally forgot to plug in my blow dryer, as you can see. So I will be back in 1 second. Bye. Okay, now it's plugged in, so we can do something, as you can hear. So the most important thing for me, if you want to emphasize the volume on the crown, just make sure you make the middle part shorter than normal. Normally you will go all the way back, but right now if you want to give it that, like, you know, 60s vibe, 70s to the front, you just go with a nice small middle part. So from here you can give the hair even more volume. And we can use a tiny bit shaping spray. And one tip that I can share with you, if you just want to let the crown here and the roots cool down, you can just put a nice clip or two. And then afterwards you can take it out. Yeah? So let's brush it. There we go. Don't be afraid to brush the hair, because like this you will get a really nice soft movement in the hair. And as you see, the hair direction from the middle part is going to the front. So we really want the hair to go all the way around the face. And if you want to use some product, then I will advise you to use products in the brush. And right now I'm using the Brilliantine Gloss. Just focusing on the ends. And the same here. So let's go back to the crown. I'm using the precision powder, not too much, just enough to help you tease the roots. because as I said, we want to keep the natural texture and the softness in the hair. And actually I'm just gonna do a really nice soft back combing. Okay, let's use it. Dry paste. And let's give her a nice head massage. You go all the way to the scalp. Hopefully she enjoys. Look at her hair. I mean, like, wow. Beautiful. There you go. That's the first look, and I'll see you in a bit for the second one. Thank you. So for the second look, this is the perfect base where I can create a beautiful, natural, soft curl. So I will use the curling iron, and I will start in the front. Curling the hair all the way around till the end. And you can touch the hair around the barrel to see if it's already getting the heat from inside. And once it does, you take out the curling iron, and this is the first curl. So there we are. Actually, this is the final, no, it's not the final look. It's just like step one. Step two is after we curl this beautiful hair. As you can see, there's a lot of shine. I love the bounce in the hair. The color is amazing. I'm just gonna start brushing the hair, no, combing the hair. So normally you will be afraid, you know, when you do this kind of beautiful curls, you're like, oh my God, don't touch it, it's beautiful already. But I just want to go a step further. And I want to give it a lot of volume, so I'm just gonna start combing the curl to make it even softer and more natural. I don't want to see like the curling iron in a very tight curl, but almost that kind of angelic hair. That's what I'm looking for. There we go. So let's put some drama in the hair. Where is she? I just want to put it all to one side. And then work it a bit more with the spray wax. Also just medium hold. There you go. I love the light pieces hair color here in the front. And I love that 80s vibe, you know. It's beautiful eyes like this, so nice. So for the finishing touch, I would love to play with the hairline. So for that I'm gonna use the triple X gel. It's a glue, trust me. Just put a tiny bit gel. And you can use actually comb with a tail, or if you have something like this, like a mascara brush or eyebrow brush, that could help. Yes, can you hold it? Thank you. And using a comb with a tail, just to make it even more feathery. can do both sides, you can do just one side. It depends on the direction of the hair, of course, and the way you're gonna wear it, but I kind of love this vibe. Let me put this one back. There you go. Can you just, yes, thank you. Yeah, helps a lot. For the other side, we're just gonna use even more spray wax. Wow. There she is. Gorgeous. Et voila! So actually we started with the perfect blowout. That's the perfect base to create even a more natural, shiny curl. And of course the size of the curling iron depends, on the size too. Bigger curl, medium curl, even smaller curl. But actually this is the regular size that I'm always using to achieve this kind of results. I hope you liked it. Thank you so much.
Oh, why, hello, stranger.
Hello.
Fancy seeing you here. Wow. What were you doing?
A bit of magic and a bit of,
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so
I
much.
really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
So beautiful styling complemented with, I think, quite a beautiful color, right?
Amazing. The
I'm
color is
really
very
happy.
like powdery, and I love I don't know what it is, but it adds really like depth in the hair, and it's really natural. And I think this kind of colors, that's what a woman loves to have.
Absolutely.
It's still done, but in a really nice, natural way.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
earlier we were talking about with my model, her hair is really strong. She's got quite a dark base to it. So I think as a palette and as a technique, I'm thinking here Middle East, Asia, the Americas, even
Definitely.
Southern Europe.
Yeah.
I think
They
this
will
is
love
a great
this color.
go-to.
I think this is a color that every woman from the Middle East or Asia would love to have, and it's quite difficult to create this kind of tone and setting. So.
And talking of that, thank you very much. And talking of that, difficult tones. Well, I'm going to do a quick sum up of what I've already done today. For the pre-lightning part, I'm not going to talk about that right now, but if you want to find out more, don't forget to check out our social media. But what we did as a bit of a recap for the toner, we used our new and beautiful semi-color. We worked with a triangular section through the top, down to behind the ears, so leaving out two subsections in these sides. I don't want to touch a blow dry. I don't want to ruin it. Oh,
once
magic.
the base is good, you can play with it.
Magic
no matter
hands.
What. Yeah, just touch it.
So, okay, I'm too scared now. Okay, so through the back area, what we did was we worked with a 732. That was applied through the root area, in fact, through the entirety, but stretched ever so slightly more through the top and the back. Then what we did was we worked in, again, 732 with 935. And what we did here is we worked with the rules of quarters. So we did thirds. We did 2/3 of our level 9 and 1/3 of our level 7. So we get something that's sitting around the level 8. And it creates this beautiful milky effect that Ilham was describing. Then as we worked into this front zone, we worked purely with the 935, stretching that right through to the ends. And then on that final section around the front, which if I bring Belle around, you can just see that popping through here. we've got that beautiful glaze, the beige shining through. And if you remember, the reason why I finished off with the glaze rather than a toner on the front is because I want to enhance the color level that I'm working with. So the great thing about the glazes is that there isn't a color level in there, it's pure color character. So I can really enhance the color I have underneath to achieve that result. So the result you see is this beautiful shadow through the internal part and melting into these dusty iridescent tones through the ends. And I really think that that lends not only to the styling, but also to the theme of tropical Hawaii. I think it fits it really beautiful. And this is really a color technique and color palette that is perfect for darker bases. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much. And thank you, Ilham.
Thank you.
I'm like,
Yeah, exactly.
John, are you almost finished packing?
Oh my gosh, there's just so much stuff here.
I see.
Yeah, it's almost like the suitcase feels like my brain, and everything we covered in the webinar is like it's like all the contents.
Over there. We did a lot actually, of
We
course.
really did, huh?
Yeah.
What did we do?
Oh my gosh, I had so much fun. I introduced to you our new semi-color. So 40 new shades with a beautiful packaging, of course. And of course, stunning shine and nourishment. And then we colored the model.
Yeah, absolutely. And you did a great job with the styling. It was
Thank you
super,
so
super
much.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, what did I do? Well, I did a recap of the trend narrative, and I also presented to you guys a look based on our theme with the styling with Ilham, and it was
Yeah.
a blast.
It was amazing. Like your color was also so gorgeous. And then of course the magic hands of Ilham. They
Absolutely.
always create something beautiful. It's
Absolutely.
amazing.
So our holiday is coming to an end.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, what's our next destination, and when is our next destination?
So our next destination will be the current number 3, of course. And unfortunately, I won't be there, but you will be there.
Yeah, I will
And of
indeed.
course, Robin and Ilham will be there. And that is in the theme Tropical Old School.
Absolutely, and I think we've already got a bit of a hint of this coming
Yeah.
through today. So
I'm
yeah,
really curious about that one.
absolutely. And I'm just thinking, do we have something in between?
Of course, who doesn't love like a holiday snack in between, of course. So on the 21st of February, we will have a moment with
And who could it be?
Oh,
Ilham.
Ilham Mestur.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and I think you're going to love it. It's a lot of fun, and it will give you a great insight into this amazing artist.
Yeah,
So, all right. Well,
Well, I will help you packing,
yeah, thanks.
and we will see you next time.
See you next time. Bye-bye.